Hello friends, today I am going to explain the recently released Sijjin movie Carry Me, which is called Sijjin Indonesian. This is the Indonesian version of the Sijjin movie, which is an official remake of the original movie. This one is also quite interesting. It has been made very well. You will get to see the Sijjin movie with a lot of clarity. It was shot in Turkey. So, without further ado, let's go straight to the video. So this story begins with a shaman showing them where to cast magic. He was doing black magic. There were human and cow parts lying around him, which he had mixed together to become a magician. He has air material. He took his sister. He actually liked his cousin and wanted to marry her, but due to the cousin's family's disapproval, it was decided to get her married somewhere else. Iman doesn't like that. She wants to find her love at all costs, even if they do black magic. Here her sister Bolan stops her and says, "Iman, come on, I don't feel right here," but then Mar was not going to listen to anyone. Imam tells Shaman that I have to marry this boy at all costs. Shaman sees the boy's picture. Arb tells him that he is my cousin. Hearing this, Shaman refuses to call it magic and says that your life may also be in danger. Shipment had to say that suddenly, Eid was born inside his sister who was sitting next to him, who was processed by another anti. Her face had become scary and she was here. He threatens that if you do this, your life will be lost. Hearing this, both Amma and her sister go back, and after being taken out of the gate, we are shown 12 years later. At this time, we see Irma going to the house of the scholar with her sister Buland and her mother, the house of the same boy whom she wanted to marry. We find out that 12 years before Golem's day, a man had also married a girl, but now his 12-year-old daughter Sophia was also there, who could not see, that is, she was blind. All these people had come here to parade Sophia's birthday party. At the same time, we are also shown the mother of a golem. Golem's mother and Emma's mother are both sisters. We find out that Golem has been sick for a long time. Here we find out that not only but Golem also went crazy in love with Ulama at one time. He married Nisa on the advice of his mother, but he was also very close to her, but we do not know. It was starting to dawn on him that he was abusing his beloved daughter and his wife. That's why he decided to stay away from knowledge, but he didn't want to let that happen because now Arwa was also pregnant, and their relationship was very bad with her and she was telling her to go home. Even after going home, she tried to make a lot of calls to her mothers, but Galan was continuously ignoring her calls. Since Arwa's sister knew everything about Arma and Garan, she told him on the phone that now Galan can never be yours. Why don't you stop chasing him? You know very well that he has a family and you are ruining his family. The villain's words made him very angry and he scolded the villain and threw him out of his room. He had spent this time on Galan more than the villain because there was a time when Gon had sworn to live and die with him. Now, as if he had forgotten everything, Imam was furious. Golem reaches the workplace. She was angry at that time and was asking Gant to accept her child, but here the gardener does not listen to her and behaves very rudely with her. Mir's mother picks up the knife lying nearby to threaten her. Before she attacked Anwas, Galan pushes her and she falls down. Due to this accident, there was a skirmish at work. Galan himself takes her to the hospital, and when Irma regains consciousness, Irma holds Galan responsible for all this. Kar explains to Aram, "Look, I am married in advance, we cannot live together now," but I was not ready to listen to anything from him. She kept saying the same thing again and again. "You promised me that you would never leave me," but here Galan suddenly gets angry and throws some money at her while pushing her away from him and leaves. What happened to him now that Anna also knew now? He will never come back. She tries to destroy it. The saint has become a saint. We are shown Garan again. He was returning home after work. On the way, the Imam left the mosque and said to him, "Galan, now none of your family comes to the mosque, so if you worship in the mosque, worship has already stopped the evils that were coming upon us." After that, the Imam also gives a gift, after which Galan goes home. He was very tired and was devastated. But then, while he was sleeping, Sophia came to him. Sophia woke him up. Here we are also shown the source who had gouged out her eyes. She gives it to Galen and says, "If you will give me any gift, then give me this gift." Without giving him the dangerous truth, the pen's eyes suddenly opened and we came to know that it was just a nightmare of Galen. He gets up in fear and goes to his son Sophia, and seeing Sophia here, he remembers his past. When Sophia was about to be born, he did not take care of his wife Nessa at all. She was not with the doctor, but she had no eyes. The next day, after Armin was discharged from the hospital, he tries to contact Gayan again. First, he calls her Agnor and then picks up the phone and tells her a series of very hot songs. Dahin gets very angry with her behavior, and now instead of ruining Gondan, she decides to get Galen, and now she had made a very bad decision to get Galen. She went to Shaman again, that is, now she was going to cast a spell on Kalen. She met the shaman and said to him, "I need the shaman now in any situation, and there is no woman in his life like this except me." Although before this, Amma had no problem with Nessa or Sophia, the daughter of Pyron, to the point that she loved Sophia very much, but now Karen's behavior had brought her to this point. She says to Shams, "You can take any price from me for this work, but now I want a gallon of single." The chairman still tells him that no girl is listening to you. This work is very dangerous, but Irma did not care. All the gold of himself and his sister is going on here. He gives it to her. Seeing this, the chairman's mother also asked the chairman to do a job. On the advice of his mother, this shaman agrees to help Amma and then tells Irma that there are many types of jinn in this world, and one of them is the Ansarjans, who are infidels and hate Muslims very much, and using their sex, they will cast spells on them. Now he needed some things for black magic. Gita was going to be the wife of these same jinns. But so that she and all her relations die, Shaman gives the task of bringing a photo of Hussein, hair and flowers, through which she will be positioned above Nessa. She said that the magic will have an effect. Also, the chairman will need a freshly dead human leg bone for the magic, on which she will wrap the intestines of the cows and perform her magic. On the advice of Shaman, Irma goes to Ganon's house, meets her lover, and on the pretext of going to her washroom, steals hair from her comb and sanitary pads from her washroom. After doing her work, she was about to leave here when she saw a girl here again. As soon as she saw her, Callum says, "What are you doing here? How many times have I forbidden you to stay away from my family?" Hearing these words, Irma feels even worse for herself. But now with a strong will, she goes and shows all these things to Shaman. Shaman also brought a human leg, and at night this magic is started. Shamanma says it was good that you bring the phone, it would be better than them. They cut the seat of the bed from a plate and make them sit on the foot bone. After that, some Jahids read the temple and suddenly want to take this house of theirs. Finally, the jinn had arrived here, with whose help they were supposed to conduct a session on Misha. He speaks in the language of the jinn from those days and tells them to destroy Nessa. The jinn leaves after listening to him. He tells them that the next 5 nights will be very difficult for Isa, in which all her blood transfusions will be killed. All the desires of Irma will be fulfilled. All the wishes of Amma will be fulfilled. In the first night, we are shown that while Nisa was praying, suddenly the cut parts of a cow appeared in front of her. She got scared after seeing it. After that, Nisa felt as if someone had spilled blood all over her. She got scared and screamed so badly that she started cursing her. When Nisa saw her, she said, "Come on, take a rest. I think you are tired." The next night, we see that the magic was happening to Nisa again. In such a situation, she cuts off her and her daughter's hair and eats it. When she regained consciousness, she was very worried about what she was doing out of the blue. She wanted to tell Galen about these things, but Galen did not pay attention to her words. After hearing this, we are shown Irma, whose sister, the villain, is asking her about her jewelry. She says, "I know," so she drives her away. And at night, we see that Irma's sister has died. Irma gets up in worry. The dead body of her mother's sister was also scaring her, which made Imani scream loudly. And then her sister Bolin came here. We came to know that all this that Amma had seen was just her illusion, that her sister was still alive. Black magic, then I believe that Nessa had also done it, but maybe Amma herself did the magic, because in reality she is going to die. Well, in the next scene, we are shown Nessa. While praying, she suddenly vomits. There were strange things that happened. In her form, there were worms in her vomit, very big worms, which scared her. She wanted to talk to someone about everything that was going wrong with her from all the previous fights. That's why she picks up these worms and puts them in a jar so that she can show them to someone. After that, they go to Galen's room. She was there to take care of them, but suddenly she doesn't know what happens to her. It was as if something had processed her, and soon she was about to kiss Golem's mother, but then she suddenly regained consciousness. She didn't understand what had done to her. Someone apologized to Golem's mother and said, "I didn't want to hit you. I don't know what's happening to me. I don't understand myself." Before anything else goes wrong, she decides to get help from someone without wasting time. She goes to the bathroom and picks up the 4 worms in her vomit. She was surprised to see that the insects were no longer there. On the other hand, Garan's wax, which could not even burn, is shown to us as she walks perfectly straight into the kitchen and picks up a pot full of hot food and pours it on herself. Nessa, who had just come out of the bathroom, is worried to see all this because a lamb's pump had formed large boils all over his body. His body was burnt and he died in no time. On the 3rd night, we are shown that Galem's Fundal and everyone was here. Nessa releases the control over herself with a tap on her finger. Some call it an attitudinal process, and in this position, she lifts Galem's wax dead body from there and throws it away. Everyone gets scared to see this except Armand, who knew what was happening here, and she was happy to see all this. It is said that Imam was also here. Seeing Vanessa's condition, they understand that someone has taken over Nissa. Here is the money. They raise it and read something on it, and Nissa comes under control at that time. Imam now understood that someone had deliberately called an evil jinn to Nissa. It is shown that after his mother's funeral, when he goes to sleep, he is also having strange and scary dreams. He had just seen in his dream that he was dead and many women were roaming around him. Seeing this, he got scared and immediately went to Imam. After telling Imam everything, Imam replied, "I had already seen Nissa and knew that she was in the possession of some evil jinn. His name is Anazar, and Anazar is a jinn who is very powerful and hates Muslims. That is why people asked him to take it away. Imam says that Nissa will be cured. Don't worry, no matter how powerful the jinn is, but Allah is more powerful than all of them. And by asking Allah for help, Amisa will be cured completely." They give him holy water and say that we have to perform an exorcism on Nisa, that is, to break the spell, you must bring Nisa to the hall behind the mosque. As soon as he came home, he saw that she was actually being scared by the spirit of Ganon's mother, so Michael quickly came close to her, controlled her and applied holy water to her head, which caused Risa a lot of pain. Seeing her condition, Galen felt very bad because now Galen had no one except his daughter and his wife. He lovingly recited the Holy Quran and left, but as soon as he left, the radio turned off and Lisa was badly processed. Now her eyes had also become strange, her lips and teeth were black, and she herself had started looking like a jinn. Now the scene is shown to my mother's mother, who was Galen's mother's sister. After Galen's mother's death, she was also having very scary and frightening dreams. Today, she also gets scared when she sees something in the kitchen and screams loudly. While eating her dishes and glass, she also dies here. With the death of her mother, and the mother was very disturbed. She knew that the magic she had done was going to have an opposite effect. Before anything else bad happened, she told her sister the whole truth, that yes, she also had help from the shaman. She had asked the shaman to cast the magic, but the chairman had said that after this magic, all the deaths would happen at Nessa's house. Nessa's blood donations would be made, but here, the opposite is happening. Here, my blood relations have been like my mother and his sister, and now the surviving child, woman, was also very scared after hearing this. She was taking her mother away from her health, but she tells the scholars, "Listen to me, believe me, I will make everything right." On the other side, we see Galen, who was supposed to take Aj Nisa to the Imam. The Imam had told him, "Don't worry, Allah will help us and we will be able to defeat this jinn." Galen also nods in response and goes to take Risa to his house, where he meets Ahmed on the way. Actually, Armin had come to tell him the truth. All this is happening because of the magic he had done. As soon as Garan hears the truth, he becomes very angry. Now, AJ had also brought 5 Virats of the black castes, and this was going to be very heavy on everyone. Here it is shown that Armin is going to meet Shamat to stop everything, but suddenly, his sister says, "Trust me, I will make everything right." The Imam, fearing her, attacks her. She runs away from there, and the villain had also come out. She now comes very close to Irma and says to her, "Look, I will die today too." She climbs the tree there, after which she gets stuck in the branches of the tree and suddenly she jumps off the tree, due to which her hair as well as her head also falls off and she dies in a very bad way. Seeing all this, the mother immediately went crazy and now she wanted to go to the 6-man as soon as possible and stop all this so that at least she can save her life. On the other hand, we see that Imam Sahib also performed such an exorcism. As they keep reading the holy book of Muslims, the Holy Quran, the condition of the scholars keeps deteriorating. The jinn who possessed them goes out of control and attacks all the humans present there and kills them. Meanwhile, Arman, who has reached the chairman's place, the shaman is nowhere to be found there. She takes control of them in an instant. Her body becomes stiff, she dies, her back breaks and one by one her whole body breaks. She also dies a bad death here. Or, after killing many people in the mosque, Nisa with the horns of the Chinese, now Gunna has caught them too. Before she used to kill Garan, the Imam makes her unconscious, but even after making her unconscious, these people see that all the bad things were going on here. Then the Imam looks at Sophia, the daughter of Mesa. And the biggest truth is that the raven that was done on Jesus is the magic of Nisa. It wasn't just above, it was above Sophia and those who had posed Sophia, and the reason for this was that the centipede and sister that Irma had picked up from the bathroom were not Nisa's but Sophia's. That's why instead of Isa, all of Sophia's blood relatives were killed, including her mother's family. Sophia starts killing Callum, to which Gunna keeps apologizing, but Sophia doesn't listen and mercilessly kills her dad. Here, the Imam performs an exorcism on Sophia, leaving Gunna behind, and the exorcism works, and those who leave Gunna leave Sophia. If these people find out first that the magic happened on Sophia, they will be able to save the lives of many people. Unfortunately, many people had already died. In the last chapter of the story, we are shown that Nisa is now alive, but she is admitted to the hospital in a very bad condition. She has a Sufi. The condition of the sofa was still bad. Her terrifying face was telling that she was still being processed by those who had already killed her and that now she would kill her closest and last blood relative, her own death, with which this story conveys this same message. So friends, this was the story of Sijjin 1 movie Indonesian version. I hope you liked it and see you in the next video.